Hi everyone, so today I will show you how to build a API using Fault Mediator. Let's start how to build that one. So let me go through Integration Studio and create one new REST API XML file. So here let me add your API name. So I'm adding one API Fault API and here I'm adding Fault and modify this version type to context okay and giving one version number and finish this one. So it will take some second to build one XML file. So meanwhile let me go through Notepad. So this is like my requirement analysis, like I want to do it today. So this Fault Mediator API, right, I need to use one Filter Mediator. So within this Filter Mediator I need to call like one negative scenario and one for positive scenario. So as per my X path, if so I will send one like in the request URL, like I will pass one like value. If my value is 0, then I will call the Fault Mediator and I will pass some message like some custom message I will pass it here. And if the value is like not 0, then I will call Payload Mediator to adding some like response, dynamic response, so we can see that one. And I will add like in Filter Mediator two type of condition, like not Filter Mediator, Fault Mediator, one for client and one for server. Like this is like one sample, like you'll demonstrate here like how you can build your API and you can pass like use this Fault Mediator in your real-time activity. Let's start how to do that one. So let me go through Integration Studio. So first of all let me right click this resource, go through Show Property View. So as I mentioned, if you see my query, right, so I am adding here URI bar ID. So this ID value I will take it from URL itself. So let me go through Integration Studio and this URL style, right, let me modify this one to URI template. So this URI template, let me pass one value here. So slash, within this curly bracket I'm adding what ID. So this ID must be matched with your query. Okay. So now like let me save this file. This is for resource part. Now as I discussed, I need to use what? I need to use Filter Mediator. So this Filter Mediator, let me drag and drop here. This one like one Filter Mediator I want to use this API. So right click this one and go through Show Property View. So this condition type, right, it is asking two type of option, one for source and regular expression, and one more option is there XPath. So let me select XPath. So this XPath I want to add some query, like what from where I need to fetch the value. So here let me modify this one to expression. So this expression, so as I mentioned, like let me go to Notepad, I need to fetch the value from the URL and I will match with is it 0 or something, so I will add that condition. So here let me add here get hyphen property. So within get property I need to fetch the value. So URI dot bar dot I need to call what ID. Okay. So if this value if it is 0, then I need to call Fault Mediator. So I'm adding my condition here. Let me click OK and save this one. So if you go through source view, right, so if you see here is XPath is doing what? So this get property value, get hyphen property URI ID, right, so this value it will check if it is 0 or something, depends on that I will call my condition. Okay, let me go through design view. Now I need to do what? I need to call Fault Mediator. So this Fault Mediator I'm adding here. Okay, so now let me right click this one, go through Show Property View. So here this show version, like if you want to use 11 or 12, that depends on you. So I'm just like default as it is. I don't want to modify this one. And this show of 11, right, let me modify this one to client. Okay, so this client, it's like details value is optional field, either you can use or not use, that doesn't matter. So this region value, right, so this region value I'm adding here. So we can add like order value must be greater than 0. Okay, or else like it's like I add one sample like response, either you can use this one or different you can add here. Then let me close this one. This is like one for client. Okay, So if you go through source view, so it is like giving one version name, means version like the value, and the code value you can see your SOAP 11 and the client, and the reason value you can see it here. Order value must be greater than 0. So now let me go through design view again. So if our condition is not 0, if it is greater than 0, so in that scenario I need me drag and drop on payload mediator, and this payload mediator, let me right click and go through show property view. So here let me modify this one to JSON. So I'm adding here one field message. So within this message I'm adding like order placed. So I'm adding here order name. This order name I'm passing here like mango. You can give anything, like this is one for example I'm adding here. So order count. So I'm adding here 1, that is fine. Okay, so inside like payload, this is my payload. Okay, let me copy this one and go through postman. So body, right? So within body, so raw, so JSON. So let me quickly beautify this one. So let me copy from here. So integration studio, let me add it here. Okay, so here like we just need to fetch what? We just need to fetch this the count, right? So this one, let me modify this one to $1. Okay, so this order like count, I will fetch it from the as for the request URI. So click add here. There is one argument, let me add it here. So then that way like I can paste the value from the URI. Here let me modify this one to expression. So this expression I'm adding one command here like get property. So within this get property I'm adding here URI dot id. Okay, so it will fetch the value from URL and it will pass this order count. So it should be like dynamic, right? So now this is like our successful scenario. Now for monitoring purpose, like let me add one log mediator in fault here and one log mediator in positive scenario. Now let me right click this one and go through show property view. Here I modify this one to full. Okay, and let me save this one. Now we need to do it for payload factory mediator. Go through here and modify this one to full. So now our flow is ready. So we need to respond the response to customer, right? So one more respond mediator I'm adding here. Okay, so as I mentioned in the requirement analysis, one we need to do for client and we need to do one for server, right? So if you scroll down, right, there is one field is here, there is one blank box is here. So it is like fault sequence. So here like let me add one more fault mediator. So this fault mediator, let me right click and go through SOAP property view. So here this SOAP 11, right? So let me modify this one to server, and this reason time I am adding here. If in case any issue with the API internal server error, in case any issue with the XML file or something, then it will print this error. So let me close this one and go through source view. So if you see here, right, so this is our current source code. So we added one fault mediator in negative scenario, and we added if in case it is succeed, then we need to call like this payload mediator. Then what I did here, I added one logger like full log here, and I respond back to the customer. Okay, this is like one sample like how I did that one. So now we need to do what? Let me go through let me quickly create one car file to verify our code is working or not. Right click this demo composite exporter and go through this application project. So here I'm adding your fault API. Okay, now let me go through next. So here this registry demo, right? So just keep a digit, like no need to modify anything. So here we need to select that particular API name. So here is fault API, right? Select this one and click finish. So it is showing what carbon archive file successfully created in the given destination. Let me click OK. Now go through EI carbon portal. So let's see like session is active or not. So it's log out. Let me quickly log in now. So it will take few seconds only to land that interface. So now you can see it's visible now, right? So okay, like after login, let me go through carbon application and go through add here, right? Just click add button. So here we need to upload new car file. Let me select new car file, click open and upload that car file. Just wait for a few seconds, like it will take few seconds only to upload the new car file in this carbon application list. So now refresh this one. So here you can see, right, it's 23 running carbon application only. Let me scroll down. So it is showing what? Fault API here, right? Now let me go through API. Like so through here, like we will direct copy the API invocation URL to verify our code is working or not. So here let me click next. So our API name is Fault API, right? So here let me copy this endpoint and go through Postman. So here let me click new tab. So here like let me like add this one. So as I mentioned, like if I go through my source code, right? So we need to use this fault here. So after fault we need to call this ID. Okay. So if I add here, right? So slash I need to call 0. If I send request, go through log. So now you can see, right? Let me copy this one. So when I call 0, let me copy this XML file, go through body and raw data, modify this one to like XML. Let me add it here. If I beautify, right? So if you see here, it is showing what? Order value must be greater than 0. Okay. So like as per our code, like what we did, like we need to use like if the value is 0, then it will call. If the value is 0, then it will call what? Order value must be greater than 0. So if we are passing like instead of 0, if I am passing 1, let me click here none and send request. We go through log. So now we are getting what? We are getting one JSON response. Like a message is order placed and order name is mango and order count 1. So if I go through Postman, so now we can see, right, 200 okay, and we are getting one response. So that means like now we understand like our condition is working as expected. So as per the code, like if the value is 0, it will call like Fault Mediator, and if the value is like not 0, then it will call Payload Mediator. So hope like those who are watching this video newly, like kindly go through my channel like so beyond doubt. So I'm uploading regularly like WS related videos, so you will understand easily. I hope like this video like all are like understanding like how Fault Mediator is working. So those who are watching video, like kindly like, share and subscribe my channel, and thank you so much for watching video.